Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
We ain't doing no podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So today is part 2 of Dead or Alive or Murdered or whatever we called it. I can't remember. So if you haven't already watched episode 1, go back and watch episode 1,
I'll link it.
which is the video before this one.
Yeah,
She'll
somewhere.
link it.
Wherever it's gonna be.
Motherfucking bitch, she'll link this bitch. And today's episode is celebs who have been murdered. So last week we talked about celebs who have murdered people, and this episode is all about celebs who have been murdered. It is a 3-part special. So like I say, episode 1's already up. This is episode 2, but episode 3, you'll not find it on YouTube. You'll find it next week on our podcast, which is Tea Time with Emily and Callum. You can find it on Spotify and it'll be linked below. And also, if you search for us on social medias, i.e., Instagram or Facebook, you can find us at Tea Time with Emily and Callum. Let's get straight into this episode. So, who is the first celebrity who has been murdered, Emily?
So the first celebrity in the first episode, is actress Sharon Tate. Have you heard of her?
Yes.
She was tragically murdered on August 9th. By the way, we've got notes again because if anyone could remember all this information, you need an award. So she was murdered on the 9th of August in 1969 by a member of the notorious Charles Manson family. She was having like a little get together with 3 other friends, and while they were sleeping, 4 members of the cult came in and they stabbed Sharon 16 times. At the time of her death, she was actually 8.5 months pregnant with her first child to the director Roman Polanski. So she was 8.5 months pregnant when she sadly passed away, and obviously the baby did pass away as well. So that was the first murder.
That's tragic. Like, there was such a bunch of bastards then, weren't there?
Definitely. They were all a screw loose.
So the next one is the tragic death of Christina Grimmie. So she was such a talented, beautiful girl as well. So is it Grimmie or Grimy? Grimy, isn't it?
I've heard people pronounce it differently depending on where they're from, I think. Like, obviously.
So Christina Grimmie was a singer and former The Voice contestant. So she was on The Voice USA. And Christina Grimmie's life was cut short on June the 10th, 2016. God, I can't believe that was that long ago.
No.
After an obsessed fan named Kevin James Lavelle murdered her. So she was only 22-year-old, and as she signed autographs inside of the Plaza Live in Orlando, Florida, he pulled out a gun and shot her 3 times, once in the head and twice in the chest. For fucking one, how the fuck has he managed in this day and age to get through with the fucking boy?
Exactly.
Like, they should have been searched, they should have done everything they should. 2, you obsessed fucking freak bastard. Like, and then for 3, God bless her life. But imagine being there, like, imagine being the person next in line to get your autograph signed.
That's crazy.
And imagine the people who, like, her crew and stuff like that, like, crazy.
So next up we have the Beatles singer, John Lennon. I've actually been and stood where he died. You maybe have as well, have you?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Strawberry Fields.
Yes. He was killed December the 8th, 1980, in what is probably the most famous fan murder, if you will, of all time. He was shot 4 times by a troubled man named John David Chapman outside his home in New York. Chapman later claimed his actions were inspired by the book The Catcher in the Rye or something like. And he was actually sentenced to life in prison. And I do know that you can go, I'm not sure which museum it is, but there's a museum where it actually has John Lennon's glasses there and the blood is still on it. Obviously they're in like a sealed thing, but it's crazy that you can still, these glasses still have the blood on. Like there's something a bit weird there, but anyway.
So when you go to Strawberry Fields, is that when I went, it's just in Central Park and then straight outside is the building. And Yoko Ono, his wife, paid millions to get this. It's just a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a man sitting playing guitar.
He was there when I was there. They had I want to say it was sunflowers, but I'm not too sure. But I know when we went, I'll have a picture. I'll put it in of when I went. I think it had sunflowers or some sort of flowers all placed out around it as well. Because we went.
Send you the clip of when I
think it was sunflowers.
I'll send you the clip. I mean, I'll insert the clip.
No, what he means is he'll send me the clip because I edit these.
I'll insert the clip. Emily will insert the clip of when I went as well because I've got a video of the man sitting singing Imagine All of It and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So talking about singers, let's move on to Marvin Gaye. He was obviously an absolute massively famous singer. So Marvin Gaye was killed by his father on April 1st in 1984 after he tried to break up a fight between him and his mother. He was shot twice in their house in California and was pronounced dead on arrival at the California Hospital Medical Center. His father, Marvin Sr., received a 6-year suspended sentence and 5-year probation. How the fuck does that work? How can you kill someone and then not go to jail at all? So anyone who doesn't know what a suspended sentence is basically you're sentenced to them years, but you just don't do the time in jail.
Yeah.
So it's suspended. So if you do any crime in between, you would then go to jail for them however many years that you're sentenced to. And then 5-year on probation is kind of just the same. Fucking crazy. And like he was trying to protect his mom. I didn't even know that happened, you know.
No, I didn't until I googled.
Bastard bitch.
Crazy.
So the next one is probably the major one.
Next up is John F. Kennedy. So obviously President John F. Kennedy was assassinated on November the 22nd, 1963, while riding in his presidential convertible limousine through the Dealey Plaza? Is that how you pronounce it? We'll go with that. In Dallas, Texas. He was murdered by a former US Marine named Lee Harvey Oswald, who was fatally shot JFK in the head and neck, and he was rushed to hospital and pronounced dead within 30 minutes after the shooting. But like, I kind of still think there was more to it. Like everything that the rumors that went about him and oh my god, her name's gone out of my head. Marilyn Monroe. There we go. It's just a bit suspicious that happened. But I think it's kind of like they still do them little drive-abouts, don't they? And it's kind of like it is crazy because I think if Boris drove about one of them, he maybe wouldn't be assassinated, but he would get some things probably thrown off him. So
I mean, I don't want to be said, oh, I put up for murder charges and anything, but I'm surprised no one didn't do it with Trump.
Yeah. I always did say to my mum, and I know I think he said, didn't he, the only way, like, he thinks he'll be assassinated or something like that. I am shocked that that didn't
Mm.
happen. There's still time though, isn't there? Still time.
Really? You
Well,
died to get put on the murder channel. Like she
anyway,
is died and put on the murder charge. Oh, I can't spit. I'm like, wrong. So the next one is like this breaks my heart because I'm a big fan of XXX or Triple X Tentacion. So rapper Triple X Tentacion or XXX Tentacion. His real name was Jesse Unfriend, but we'll just call him Triple X. Was shot and killed in an apparent robbery on June 18th, 2018. He was 20-year-old, so talented as well, and he was shot multiple times in the neck by two men after leaving a motorsports store in Florida. At the time of his death, Triple X was facing 15 felony charges, including domestic violence involving his pregnant girlfriend. Now, this one fucking fucks me up in the head so much because I then seen a live video a few days later. And then I seen the pictures of his dead body in the car, and they don't have the same tattoos or anything like that. Like, ah!
it's
Really
crazy.
curious. Is he on the next list?
I'm not sure, but it can be added.
We
But
need to add.
speaking of the next list, this person it's Princess Diana. Now, before I start this one, Elizabeth, if you're watching this, just got off Google. Don't be snipering us through my window, please. It's just off Google. So Princess Diana was the beloved mother of Prince William and Harry, and she was killed in a fatal car crash in Paris, France on August the 31st, 1997. There's so many conspiracy theories against the royal family that they had her murdered. A few, not that I've seen a lot, but other people believe that it was because it's a bit like in the last episode when we talk about Caitlyn Jenner. A few people believe that the paparazzi thing happened here and the driver was speeding away. But I mean, I'll talk about it more because I do know that, like, me and Callum get given people who we're going to talk about, and then I just know that this one is mine. So I will talk more about the like other theories and stuff around it in episode 3. So if you do want to know more, definitely check number 3 out
This
because
is good. Episode 3 is going to be a fucking shit hot good episode, Tristan.
there might not be any more videos or podcasts after episode 3 because we could have been taken by the FBI, but we'll at least we'll
If
have.
we have more looking for us,
Yeah. I would
they
rather not.
just come looking for me anyway. Is one. I don't really think. So
Anyway,
the next one, and the last one on the list, which Emily knows, this is one of my favorite. That sounds wrong, but it's the one I'm most obsessed with. Have we only done one podcast or two
yeah,
about that?
I think we've done one main podcast on it and then potentially mentioned doing
Mentioned
another
that.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is, if anyone knows who it is, my favorite, it's Jean-Benet Ramsey. So, though she wasn't a celebrity at the time of her death, child beauty queen Jean-Benet Ramsey became a household name after she was murdered at the age of 6 in her home in Boulder, Colorado. On December the 26th, or December the 25th, we can't decide, 1996. Her body was found in the basement after her mother Patsy said she had found a ransom note demanding $118,000 for Jean-Benet's return. It was later revealed she had sustained a broken skull from a blow to the head and was strangled to death. Though her case remains unsolved, it's widely believed her parents staged the note in order to cover up the crime, which, bear in mind, $118,000, what the ransom note said was the exact amount that her dad was getting paid as a bonus, and nobody at all knew that. And also, the note that it was wrote on belonged to the mum and dad, and the writing was the same as her mum's, and the fibres found on her clothes of John Benet Ramsey when she was dead was of her mum's, and the equipment they used, the apparatus they used to make the murder weapon was like a fucking paintbrush and wire or something, was her mum's. Who's now dead. She died of cancer, God rest her.
Oh. It was definitely
Her mum and her dad and her brother.
definitely.
Don't get me started on this because I'll flip the biscuit.
Anyway, that is the end of our list of celebrities who have sadly been murdered. We hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to check out episode 3 over on Spotify. It will be linked down below, like our Spotify page will be linked down below. So just keep an eye on that, but it will be out at some point next week, whenever Callum wants to put it out, because he gets the podcasts to edit. So
I
thank
know
you.
y'all been waiting a long time for the Cecil Hotel one, but hopefully it is out before you watch this. So if you're into the Cecil Hotel and Alyssa Lamb and everything that goes with it, be sure to check that episode out as well on our podcast. And we have like special guests who stayed there and different stuff like that. So you should definitely check that out. It's a good one.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
So we also want to know, so our next YouTube video, would you like to see us do a challenge?
Oh my God, what?
And if you want to see us do a challenge, tell us which one to do, but you need to bear in mind that we're not in the same room.
If you couldn't tell. Anyway.
Bye, YouTubies.
Bye.
I wanna really, really, really wanna zig a zig.